Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? I'll be with y'all in a minute. What up, Amit? I see you. Jam Master D, what up? Say what up, Field Dre, what's good? New Jerus. Alright, let's get that going, man. Let's get that going. Alright, I gotta make myself a little bit smaller because I'm gonna be sharing that screen. So let's start with that. I still have to uncouple a couple of things though. I'll do that while we talk. George Mike, what's going on? Yeah, let me make myself a little bit smaller. And I'll start opening screens in a sec. So I gotta start that one. There's a couple I gotta start. Yeah, I'm using a GoPro for this one. So this is my my Hero 9. That's the GoPro I bought the other day. So let's get this streaming starting out of the way first. Hold up. Let's get you out of the way. There we go. Yeah, using that GoPro, and I have the media mod on there, and I'm just using there's a microphone on that media mod, using that one right now, so I don't have extra mics plugged in. This should be a little bit better than the onboard microphone on the GoPro, and I have it set to the GoPro colors, and as you can tell, they are like really saturated, a lot of color. Like normally if I would use a video for later edits, I might use the flat profile, so you get a little bit less color, but that's better for editing actually. But yeah, this was the easiest to do. I have a little stand set up right behind the monitor, and I just used the GoPro for some other shooting and just took it off and just clicked it on here. Basically ready to go. It is plugged into my A10 Mini Pro, my video switcher, so just going straight in here, and that is connected to the computer. So that's basically the setup for a stream like this. No multicam stuff going on either. Just that. Original Fresh Prince, salute. Yes, even though it was a certified bangers, I only saw afterwards that I actually had Crates, the Crates logo on the bottom, because Crates is only on Monday, so this was a certified bangers show. Crazy stuff with the crash at the end though, but it's all good. You also use the Rode Wireless Go. I'm gonna get that Wireless Go 2. I didn't have the first version. I had the Rode Filmmaker kit. That's also a wireless kit, but it's like 10 times bigger. Let's see. Do I have that here? Oh, okay. It's not even here. I think it's in the bag. But like the receiver and transmitter are like really big. So I wanted to get the Go, never got around to do it, didn't have the money for it at the time. That new version, the 2, with the 2 transmitters and the receiver, I mean, I wanted to switch to that smaller profile anyway, but I really like the features on that, especially that you can connect the the receiver, you can connect that straight to a computer, and then it can become an audio source in something like, for instance, OBS, what I'm using for streaming now. So I could have one just clipped on, use that as my mic, and then have the receiver plugged into the computer, and it will go straight into OBS. But I could also use it for a stream and have one transmitter for me and the other for a DJ set, for instance. So you could get like your audio from the DJ set and your vocal on 2 different channels. Yeah. So yeah, a couple of things I need to do real quick. I just finished shooting the Saturday Sessions video again. Had to reshoot that. And there's still a bunch of stuff out here. Just need to get that out the way for a sec. Even though I can stream while it's there, I like seeing a bit of space around me. That gives me a little more clarity. So let me just wrap that up real quick. Put that to the side for a second. So Saturday Sessions with the Omni. the portable turntable, the Omni. I shot with it last week, but something went wrong with the audio, so I had to reshoot that. Just did that. All right. That alone gives me a little bit more of a clear feeling. Love that. Sinead, what's going on? Sinead Wells. Philip in the building. Salute to you. I'm wondering what would be the best free app to DJ on the phone. Any suggestions? I think Algorithm DJ has a free version. I'm not sure. I think they do. If they have, I should definitely check that. The Algorithm DJ app. Jurors Mike just want to do a basic DJ set streaming. I have an old GoPro 5. So for, let's say, all my DJ streams up until, I think, 3 weeks ago, every overhead shot, the eagle eye view that you saw on all of those videos, that was all my GoPro Hero 5. That's basically the GoPro I've been using forever. I don't know if you can, you probably can't really tell that if I have to move it around more, but I had my 5 right there. I actually had it clipped to the table to get like a strange angle where you see my hands while I'm scratching. So it's actually behind my hands while I'm scratching. I'll have to see how that looks once I offload the footage. But I did a lot with that 5. Now, if you only have one camera, you have to choose. If you want to be on screen, then you need to put that GoPro in front of you. And I've done a couple of streams where I had the Hero 5 as the front cam, and I had it in wide or ultra wide, and then you get everything, the whole DJ set and yourself in the frame. And I actually recently just switched that up. So for my last stream, the Hero 9 was taking the full shot where you had everything in the frame, and I had the 5 doing the overhead angle again. So yeah, the 5 is still a great little cam. Nothing wrong with that. It's perfect for streaming. But if you have one and you want to be in the frame, you just have to put it in front of you. And I mean, even if your DJ set is on a table like that and you have it here, you're already going to have everything in the frame. So that's the beauty about it. That's what I love about the GoPros. DJ 6, what's good, man? Good morning. For me, it is good afternoon. It's 5. It's 5 right now in the afternoon in Amsterdam. So I just shot footage for the Saturday Sessions video again, so I'm now actually taking out all of the SD cards. Now you can't connect GoPros to the camera, to the computer directly and use the GoPro app to extract the videos. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I don't get a good connection. So I just take out the SD cards and do it like that. Okay, I already have that one. So I shot the Saturday Sessions with, let's see, 1, 2... Actually, exaggerated a little bit. I shot it with 4 angles. One angle is actually from the camera that's still hanging here. The M50, I did a vertical shot. I might not even use it in the video. Maybe I'll use that for some stories footage or whatever, but I just wanted to have that extra angle. Skojo, what's going on? And then I had the overhead cam was my GH4. That's going to be the main shot for Saturday Sessions. I want people to have that view, and that is the best quality cam I have in the house. And the Hero 9 took the front angle, and the 5 did it from between the hands. So I'm going to upload that now. You'll get to see a piece of that. All right, I got to do one thing before I get into that real quick, because today is yet another day that I won't have time to cook. And we'll order some for the fam because they're at home, and I won't be in home in time for dinner, so I have to make sure they have food. Oh man, they changed the website on this right here. Don't do that. No, no, no. This restaurant changed their okay, there it is. Changed their layout. But yeah, man, like again, like I think action cameras are great for DJs because of the fact that they're so small, especially if you want to take them like on the road for gigs. I mean, you can fit this in anywhere. And tripods, you don't need like a large tripod. I normally take my my Manfrotto, the Pixies, Yeah. I normally take one of these Manfrotto Pixies. They're as you can see, they're not that big. They're super sturdy and super steady. Now they have that little ball head there, so if you put the camera on, you can then adjust this in any direction to get your shot straight. And most of the times I can still fit that on the actual table where the DJ set is placed on. So that's great. And the other option is the one I just showed you. I had it on a clamp like this. This one is by Small Rig. A lot of brands make these. You can find these on Amazon for like $9. So this can go on anything. So it could go on a table, and it can get quite wide, so it can go on like a pretty big table. Or if there's like some sort of railing or something on the side, you can get it on like that and get this on any way you need it to be on there. This is already one of those GoPro connection points, so there's a lot you could do with that. That doesn't take a lot of space in a bag, and with the GoPro you can get good recordings. I mean, they're not great in low light, but I don't always care, like especially if it's performance footage. It doesn't have to be the greatest. I have an awesome webcam. Do I have to get a capture card? No. The thing is, capture cards are only necessary if you want to connect cameras to your computer that otherwise couldn't be recognized by a computer as a camera. Like, you can connect a lot of cameras to your computer, but then it'll only see the storage inside the camera, and then you can offload files. If you have a webcam, you connect that to your computer, and your computer sees and recognizes that as a camera. So if you have a webcam and you open streaming software like OBS, you can just add a video source and it'll show you the webcam right there. So that you don't need anything else for that. Now, as soon as you want to connect, like for instance, my GH4 camera, if I want to use that, I can't use that with a USB cable. I currently actually can't even use that with a capture card because the HDMI output is broken, but normally I would need a capture card for that. But yeah, that's the great thing about a webcam. That's just if you want to have the most basic setup. So for instance, even with the Share the Knowledge I did on Wednesday, and I've done one before, I was using the built-in webcam on the laptop. So if you're coming from a laptop and it has a webcam, that can work as well. And then you don't need any extra equipment. Now, when I'm doing the crazy stuff with like multiple cameras, then you're gonna need a switcher, or if you want to have one camera connected to the computer, a capture card is mostly the best option. This is in my face as well. Let's get that out of here real quick. There you go. Love those Elgato multi-mount, flex mount things. All right, so I have Audition. I need to do something in Audition real quick. So I'm gonna make sure I'm sharing that screen with you. That is that screen. Thank you. And there you go. Need to have it on, otherwise you can't see it. Ben, what up, Ben? Get myself in here somewhere. I'll just jump in here. There we go. The iPhone apparently is one of the best cameras. Well, if you have an iPhone, there's a plug-in for OBS to connect iOS devices, and you have several different apps that will turn your iPhone into basically a webcam for OBS. So yes, if you have a good phone, then you can use that as well. Thomas says OBS Ninja, and I know I used a different app. It had a different name, which is called OBS Camera, which I assume they do the same thing. But if I have OBS Camera open, then it's already telling me like, okay, waiting for a connection. And if I connect a lightning cable USB to the computer, then I can actually open that in OBS. I could actually see if that's, maybe I can do it on the spot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. DJ Road Dog in the building. Salute, salute. Let me connect that real quick, see if I can actually show you that. Real NY. Salute. Allow. Let's see if it can actually already see it. Sometimes it, like I said, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if that's something on my end, but let's see if I can get these to connect. Can it find the iOS device already? Maybe I didn't do the right order. That's also an option. Try that one more time. OBS camera. Refresh devices. If it's not working now, I gotta continue and I'll check later. But I know it works. I've done it in the past where you can connect your iPhone and use that as well. And yes, that had, like, most new phones have dope cameras, so that is a great option if you can get it to work. So in my case, this is not working now. OBS plugin, yes, that's how I have it connected. Okay, so I can't tell you why it's not working this time. I mean, I've had this work before. I'm not gonna waste more time on it. I have to order that food. My favorite food, by the way, I would have to say sushi would be my number one. And I'm actually a sashimi guy. That's my jam right there. All right, let's see. This has this. Yeah, let's just order that. Side dish 1. Get some white rice and one more. Boom. All right. No. All right, sorry. Where's a good place to buy a digital music library? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, even though I've seen DJs who offer their actual music library online, which is illegal, by the way, just to let you know. If DJs are offering to sell you their music, that's not legal. Even if it's music they bought, they're not supposed to be reselling that. If you're talking about a place to buy music digitally online, there's plenty of stores. So depending on the type of music you're looking for, like for most people looking for house, they'll go to Beatport. Otherwise, I would say if you're more open format, go to beatsource.com. But if you're talking about a library, I don't know. So I'm quickly just placing that order for the fam, because I know how I am. I'll start talking to you, and then it's an hour later, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't order the food. And then people are waiting on food, and I'll get those calls, and we don't want that. So just making sure that they have their food. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So is that what you mean, by the way, Andre, when you say music library? Like I saw the other day, I saw like a DJ, I forgot his name, forgot the website, and he like offered like all sorts of entire libraries. So for wedding DJs, here's my entire set of crates for weddings, and here's my this. Okay, so like Ben says, apparently you can share your Spotify made library. Yes, but then you're just sharing a music streaming playlist, right? So you're not actually giving people the music. They have to have their own Spotify account, and then they can use the same playlists. But that's not the same thing as people like selling their actual music. Like you're actually paying money and just downloading all of their music. How about a printout of bangers? So Skojo, here's the thing. What you have to imagine. What is a banger to you? And that goes for each and every one of you watching right now. What is a banger in your eyes? Because that's where the first problem will begin. I've played with plenty of DJs and like do back-to-back sets that we're playing all night. And you start with the warm-up session before we start to raise that energy and take it up. And a lot of times, DJs would play a track during the warm-up that in my eyes was something you would play later on. So after the first couple of times, I started to discover like, yeah, we all view music a little bit differently. Now, of course, the biggest hits will most of the times be considered like stuff you play later, and you could maybe call that bangers. But in my opinion, not everything that is like a hit and is familiar to the people is like a banger. In my eyes, a banger has to do with a certain type of energy that comes with the track. And that's going to be totally different for a lot of people. So I don't think there is like something like a one list. What's going on here? What's this? No, I don't need to do that. Okay. And I think that is important for people to actually find out on their own. Now, something like if you go, for instance, to BeatSource and you check out their playlists, they will actually have certain playlists that will be aimed at a certain part of the evening or best to play when you're playing such and such set, and that's curated by DJs. That can give someone a bit of an idea of what could work. But then again, let's say you're playing at a hip-hop party. The hip-hop party could be different depending on simply the city you're in. Even in a small country here like the Netherlands, if I play at a hip-hop party in Amsterdam, and then I go to Rotterdam, and then I go to a city that's even a little bit further, I'm not going to get the same reaction to the same tracks because that's going to be different everywhere. So you can't come to a place and have like just something in your head like, okay, these are the tracks that will work everywhere. It's just not really how it's going to work. Unless you are a DJ who comes in to play his own track. So for instance, if we're talking about hip hop, if you're a DJ Premier and you've been booked to play a set here, people who come will know that Primo is going to do Primo. He's going to play the way he plays with a lot of energy while he's hosting, and he's going to play stuff he produced. And the people who come there know the tracks that were produced by DJ Premier. So in that case, yes, he could do the same thing in all places if he's booked to be DJ Premier. But normally, it's going to be different everywhere. Best advice to get over the fear of talking on the microphone. I think, I mean, it is kind of hard to say because, again, this is something where people are really different. Like some people will be some people could be like total introverts and actually really don't like to speak to people. They love DJing because they get to kind of express their feelings and get some of their energy out while they're playing music. I mean, it's just a lot of fun to DJ. It is, we know that. But same way a lot of us, when we were younger, if you had to speak in front of class, some people just had fun with that. They were like class clowns or just really confident really early, and they could just speak. But for most of us, standing in front of a class and having to speak was not like the most natural thing. It's something you basically had to learn by doing it more and more. Now, when it comes to hosting as a DJ, it is a little bit safer than you might think. Like if you're in front of the class, everyone is paying total attention to you. You're really close to them. If you're in a DJ booth, a lot of times there will be a little bit more distance between you and the crowd, and not everyone is paying like close attention to everything you're saying, especially if you have the music there to guide you. So it's a little bit easier, but it's still a little bit freaky in the beginning, a little bit scary. Also crazy to hear your own voice through speakers. So it's something you need to get used to. Now, when I was younger, I used to rap as well, so I was already used to like grabbing a mic, stuff like that. And yeah, I just got more confident over time. And I think what Teal Walk says is very important. Like be yourself. Don't try to come out and because you've seen certain DJs use an incredible amount of energy, and that's not you. And then when you grab the mic, you start to do that. I see a lot of YouTubers do that as well. Like people, if you would talk to them in normal life, they'd talk to you just like I'm talking now. And then as soon as the camera goes, oh, hey, what's up, guys? They start to talk with some sort of energy that makes you feel like, whoa. Kids like that. They like that uppity type of energy. Some people are like that. A lot of people aren't. That's why I basically sound the same in a YouTube video, in a live stream, or in an actual conversation. There's not going to be a lot of difference. Now, of course, when I'm hosting, while I'm DJing, I might add a little bit of extra energy, of course, but I'm more hyped myself as well. I'm performing, we out there, so then that gives you that extra energy. Practice. Start with just doing a couple of words. Practice those words. And it could be something as simple as, I mean, I don't want to say like get your hands up. That's like one of the most, I don't want to say corny things, but that's like super standard. But like, start really simple. Don't do it a lot. Definitely don't talk over the parts where they're having fun to the track. Maybe even start out by just singing, rapping a couple of words along to a hook, because the crowd is doing the same thing. If it's like a hit, the crowd is doing it. You could do that, like maybe 1 or 2 words. Just take that fader down real quick, say it. Start simple, or just have it be super simple and just work on just doing an introduction. What's going on, y'all? My name is whatever. Let's have some fun, yo. Start your track, just to get that out. At first, maybe that's all you do, and once you start to understand, like, okay, that wasn't too bad, then maybe you try a little bit extra. Yeah, we could talk about that for a long time, though. Skojo says, when I started, I never looked directly at someone. The cool thing is you can actually do that. Like, when you're standing there, you have a crowd there, you could basically hold that mic and look into infinity. So you're not looking at that front row person. Like, you could do that. Like, normally I make that contact, but you can actually just not do that. You look in that direction. It's going to be a little bit dark. And if a person sees you're not looking at them, then they probably figure you're looking at someone else. And maybe you're looking at no one. Maybe you're just staring at the wall in the back. So if that helps you to be more comfortable, do it. So yeah, Andre says, I've seen an online course and you can buy a library or subscribe to a service and you can download music. Okay, that's a couple of different things. So I've seen that too, where a DJ was selling like sort of courses and music. And I just want to say that's illegal. It is not legal. Now the chances you'll get in trouble for that are probably slim, but that DJ does not have the rights to sell that music unless he's selling an entire library of music that the DJ produced themselves. But if that's not the case, they're not allowed to sell that or subscribe to a service and you can download music. Unless they're a legit DJ pool, and there are not a lot of legit DJ pools, then they're not allowed to do that either. All right, so I have Audition open because I have to quickly make a short loop that I have longer. So I did something in iMachine, and I took that from iMachine and exported it so I could open it in Machine. So iMachine is the app that I use on my iPad and iPhone. I normally make beats with Machine on the computer, and iMachine is basically their mobile version. You've probably seen this in some of my videos before. So yeah, it's like a version that allows you to make like the skeleton of a beat. You have like 4 different tracks that you could use. Either have like a drum kit on there, a sound kit, or something like keys in there. And I just made a quick beat in that, but afterwards I just export it to Dropbox, and then I can open it on the computer in Machine. And I did that. Let me for a second just remove this. I need my desk space. Still a lot of stuff here. Yes. All right, this allows me to get my work done. Let me just move this to the side real quick. Someone says, looking at the person gives your crowd a feeling of being a part of the show. Yeah, I mean, I can recommend that too, but if you're starting out and you're still nervous, I can totally understand that looking directly at a person also really intensifies the feeling of, okay, someone's looking at me for you if you're hosting. So if you're starting out and you're actually nervous, not making direct eye contact can help for some people. But once you get used to it, yes, it becomes better to do that. Like if I normally start out, and I mean, I do different things when I DJ, because I DJ in clubs, but then I also do my shows with Brain Power. I've been his tour DJ for like all of those years, the 23 years now. For a lot of those shows, there will be an entire crowd, and that could be anything from 100 to 40,000 people. We've done all of those shows. We've done like over 3,500 shows, TV shows, radio shows, little shows, biggest festivals, you name it. A lot of times that will start with me coming out first. Like if we're playing with a band, the band will be ready. They are behind their instruments. They might even start to play something, but then I come out first. I go to the front of the stage with a mic and I start to talk to the crowd, hype them up a bit, and then I announce Brain Power and then he comes out. So when I'm doing that, if it's a large crowd, I'll direct some of what I'm saying just to the crowd in general, talk to the back, to the sides, but I'm also looking at that front row and making eye contact with those people as well, because indeed people do like that. Same thing as when you're streaming and I recognize people in the stream and I see them, Vinyl Richie, what up? I acknowledge them. That also gives you that feeling like, hey, I've been seen. And for fans in the front, they'll love the fact that you saw that they were there to support you. So yes. TL Walk says, yes, Restream bot. What is going on here? Maybe I missed something. I don't have my stream. Let me open my chat app just in case, because I'm just seeing what's on screen and something already passed. But okay, back to what I was talking about. I'm in Audition right now. Adobe Audition, just an editor. And I have a loop going here. Okay, I have to do that. Oh, you're probably picking it up through the mic, right? But let me just give you guys an actual audio source. That's better. So let's get that out of here. Let's see, is this one working? Can I get you to hear this one? Yes, you can. Turn it down a little bit. So that's a super basic beat. I just made that real quick on iMachine. I actually wanted something that was like pretty basic, like a skeleton. I actually made this beat. It has like 4 other layers with keys and melodies, but I left all of that out for the Saturday sessions. Just wanted to hear basically kicks and snares. Okay, so, but this is only like a little section, and I need a lot more of it because I had the beat playing while I was recording the scratches, but I wanted to have them separately because I couldn't clearly make up a nice balance between the beat and the scratches. So I wanted the opportunity to do that now when I'm going into Adobe Premiere and I start to edit my video, that I have like the option to work on that beat a little bit because it's coming straight out of the iPad, so nothing has been done to the sound. So now it allows me to at least maybe add something to the sound mix wise and get a good balance between my scratches and the drums. So this is only a very short piece. This is just the 4 bars, so I need to make this a lot longer. Okay, I'm not sure if I want to do it this way though, because I can tell it's not a clean ending, so I have to find out where that new bar would begin. There's ways to do that, but I think I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm just gonna open up Machine real quick and just duplicate that bar, the 4 bars. That's a lot easier. So okay, I'll wait for Machine to start and do it that way. I think that's gonna be a lot better. To be honest, the only DJ pool that I'm aware of that is 100% legit, and this is not to knock any other DJ pools, I just don't know their inside, their business, and I think there's only going to be a couple that are actually doing it legit and all the music they offer is actually licensed. DJ City is one of those pools. That can come across as being biased because I work for DJ City, but because of that, I also know they have the actual deals with all of the labels. So And BeatSource is a collaboration of Beatport and DJ City, but BeatSource is not a DJ pool. They're an online music store. They sell music. Or if you want to use their music in your DJ software, you can get BeatSource link and then you're streaming their music. But I understand a lot of you might just want to have the music on your computer, and then you need a DJ pool. Like Vinyl Richie, you know, there's DJ pools out there that are just not legit. And I mean, from a DJ standpoint, I don't really mind. But I've also heard from people who are telling me like, hey, some DJ pools, their archive is shrinking. They have less music. And that's because probably some of the labels are starting to come down on them like, hey, get our music out of your pool. Ayala, salute to you. Okay, is machine open yet? Yes, here we go. Just want to make sure y'all can see that. So let's change your window right here, and we go from Audition to Machine. There we go. Okay, so I have that 4 bars in here, and I'm gonna take those 4 bars, and the cool thing is I don't have to do like any cutting or pasting here. I can just look at this scene and I can basically just duplicate that. If I have my controller connected, I would just double it, which is another way to do it. But for now, I'll just do it like this, and turn this into a couple more bars. I may still have to make it longer in Audition though, but for now, this takes a couple of clicks, and I can be sure that it'll run correctly. Like in Audition, if I had to cut it now, I would have to make sure I do it right. Otherwise, it's not really looping correct, and then it's not going to be in sync with what I did in the video. You have to understand, like if I record myself scratching over a beat, and I'm going to place the beat in the edit separately, the beat has to play exactly the same way as the file I was playing while I recorded my scratches. Little differences can mean that after a couple of minutes, the beat I was scratching over is not totally in line with the file that I'm adding. I've had that happen once, and I mean, maybe I'm getting too technical now, but that leads to a lot of issues. So let's say, so this is 20, so that's 80 bars already. So that should be more than enough, but I might add a few more. Yeah, Vinyl Richie, I never got around to truly use Bridge, and by the time I was like, yeah, because I wasn't using Ableton, and by the time I was like, yeah, I should really try that out, they had moved on from the Bridge, because there were some features in there that were amazing, like the mixtape feature that would allow you to, after you record, you could change fader movements. That was, yeah. Never got the chance to really work with that. And I'm still not familiar with Ableton. Even though I have it now, I need to really start using it to find out how it works. But yeah, the Bridge, that was something else. Pretty innovative, how you could use like an Ableton session in Serato. And basically do the same thing you can do now with some of those stem things. Only you could do it with like beats you created yourself. So okay, now I'm gonna just export this audio right here. Oh, that's what I should have done as well. If I loop optimize it, it'll probably cut that end off. All, export that real quick. And then I got to import some video footage. So I have a bunch of SD cards here, and I'm going to use my my extension that I normally use for my iPad. So that's USB-C. And it has like HDMI, normal USB, an audio output, and an SD and micro SD slot. So that's going to allow me to now just take the footage from all of these SD cards. So I can just plug this into the PC. There we go. I'm going to take all of that. Fresh fruit, what up, what up? Exactly, Vinyl Richie, yes. All right, so I just exported. So let me take that out real quick. And now we will have a file that's a lot bigger. So I'm going to open Adobe Premiere, because that's where I need to be right now. And at the same time, I'm just importing my footage. So I'm just going to set y'all up so y'all can see this. So we're going to change machine into Adobe Premiere. And I know it's not showing up yet. That'll happen in a minute. I have to make a new project. So this is the new, I think it's number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Not totally sure, but that's what I'm going to name it now. There you go. So that shows up for you as well. Cool. So yes, when I did it last week, or actually I did a recording last week, and there was an issue with the recording. Like, there was an incredible amount of static in there. I didn't go to the troubleshooting session I was going to do to find out what that was. I actually just recorded it in a different way. I recorded the scratches separately. I recorded those using my H5, my audio recorder. So there's a scratch layer right there, and I need to add that to the beat that I have here. Yes. All right, let's see. I have to, you won't see that on screen. I have to just quickly do an import. Get my files in here. So we have, let's go up this PC. I should be seeing that drive now. There we go. All right, I need today's date. So I need the files from, it's already March 7. Got you. And I gotta add that to my, I have like an offload folder for my camera footage on a different drive on the computer. So waiting for that top angle to come in. And once I have the files, I'll go into my assembly mode in Premiere, and I can start to add those. How's this looking? Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I kind of have to wait for a sec. That is now copying. Does the S11 not support connecting the second USB to your DAW? And you can directly catch the audio instead of having to record it. That's a good question. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure. That might be an option, because if I connect that S11 to this computer now, the computer could recognize that as an audio interface, and maybe your recording software will then allow you to use the S11 as a source and then actually capture what's already coming through it. So I don't know. I think that could work. It basically is an audio interface with like 2 connections, and it's made to be used with 2 computers connected at the same time. So I don't see a reason why it wouldn't work, unless they did something on purpose not to make that work. So I think that could work, but I haven't tried that yet. That's a good one. I could actually try that. Not now, but I could give that a go. I can have Serato on my MacBook with DAC 1 and 2, USB 2 to connect the streaming PC, catch the audio outs in any software. Yeah. That's a dope option indeed. Yep, so you're already using that, right, with the 72. So I think that should probably work with the 72 and with the S11 and with the S7 and with the Reloop Elite as well. They all have like the dual USB. So it sounds logical. And I mean, I know I've had my computer, multiple DJMs connected to a computer before, and then I could actually choose them as an audio source. So, makes sense. Okay, so that one is copied. So I can take that SD card out. And I'll get that footage in so we can actually already see that. So let me get to Premiere and add those to files, import, library, camera offloads. Please show me in list form so I can see what I'm doing. That's you. All right. Oh yeah, I need to start mentioning this like a bunch for people out there. For my YouTube viewers out there, I know I've been talking about how I'm not doing my mix streams on YouTube because I don't want to jeopardize my channel. But I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I actually started to use my old YouTube channel. So I have DJ TLM TV, but I also have DJ TLM. That's my first YouTube channel. And from now on, I'll be live streaming my mix sets on my old YouTube channel. So if you prefer to watch on YouTube, you can do that. I did that this Friday, so 2 days ago, for Certified Bangers. That worked perfectly fine. Now afterwards, I mean, I got all of the emails for the copyright claims, and that's okay. I don't mind because that's not really damaging the channel. But for 2 tracks, they blocked the video for a couple of countries, but those were like really random, like Iran, North Korea, and Syria. But there was one song, Excuse Me Miss Again by Jay-Z, that was claimed by UMG, Universal Music Group, and because that song was in there, that video is blocked in its entirety, so you cannot see the replay just because of that one particular song. So it's still weird to me how labels treat that differently. Like with a lot of songs, they'll tell you like, hey, copyright, you don't have to do anything, the video can stay online, they'll monetize your video. But with that particular song, the whole video got blocked. But that's after the fact. So the live stream went perfectly. So tomorrow for Crates, I'll be live streaming on YouTube as well. But you need to connect to my old YouTube channel, DJ TLM. So that's basically youtube.com/DJTLM instead of DJ TLM TV. All right, Vinyl Richie, I got a ban a year or so ago as someone clipped my stream. 48-hour ban with no appeal. Wow. Pastor Lord, for the people who feel useless, remember popcorn is made in the same pan, same heat, same oil. But they don't pop at the same time. You will pop at your own time. Don't let other people put you down. Yes, indeed. Don't pay too much attention to what someone else is doing. Follow your own path. I definitely have to agree on that, man. It's that's what it's all about. A lot of people pay too much attention to, let's say for us DJs. I've made the same mistake. Like, I would start to follow in the Twitter days when things were happening on Twitter in the beginning. I just started to follow a lot of DJs because I felt I wanted to be inspired what everyone was doing. But then at a certain point, I don't know, it started to bug me more than it started to motivate me. I was like, yo, I shouldn't be paying attention to what they're doing. Even sometimes when people have a lot of success, as a DJ, it can start to mess with your mind, especially if you know the DJs and you know they don't actually have the same talent, same skill as you. Don't compare, because a lot of times they're following a path that's not your path anyway, so then it doesn't really make sense to compare yourself. Like some DJs, they might make switches to totally different genres that I know for a fact they don't like, because we've had those conversations, but they saw that a certain genre was popping now, they got on it, they got in with the right people to blow up within that scene. And if you start to look at that like, damn it, now that DJ is doing that, you need to stop and think, would I want to follow that same path? Would I want to just change genres and play something that I know I don't like and hang around a lot of people I don't really care for just to make it? If the answer is no, then you shouldn't even be looking at what those people are doing. So, yeah. Loco Lopez, what's good? Dodge Danger in the building. Salute to you as well. All right, so I have 2 files in here. Let me just get those in with Premiere. At the same time, I have the next SD card in there, so I need to offload that as well. Oh, by the way, Vinyl Richie, I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me quickly check, because I think I still have my my stream from Saturday is still on there. And even though I know they mute a lot, I actually just want to make sure I delete that on Twitch. I don't want to have my old streaming videos there. Yeah, the audio is muted already, but I still want to have it all the way off. Like, a lot of people don't have issues on Twitch. I haven't had those issues either. But then again, I have heard from DJs who, sorry, not DJs, streamers who just had their channel taken down. Even if they didn't have the broadcast up, they had clips up, and then yes, stuff still happened. So I actually delete streams once I streamed on Twitch. Okay, so let me just start my project with you, because I actually want to use his oh, I missed it. There we go. And there we have the Omni portable turntable. I must say it's a lot of fun. It's a nice little turntable. Andre, great. Yes, the old channel on YouTube, DJ TLM. That's where you can catch all my mix live streams. Now, live streams like this, I stream those to DJ TLM TV. But just to have YouTube in there as an option for the mixes, yeah, it's great to have that other channel. Seen that 3D printed one Kickstarter. I don't think this is a 3D printed one. Not sure about that. The Omni actually has been around since like a couple of years ago. They had their first videos up. The company is called Headache Sounds, if I'm not mistaken. And we had talks like 2 years ago already about me trying out one of those turntables. Now, I got it in a couple of months ago. Didn't truly get a chance to really test it, and started to do that now. So this was one of the first ways to test it, by actually just using it for a Saturday Sessions video. And I mean, it's a super dope turntable. Y'all can probably hear this as well, right? Let's see. Funny thing is, that doesn't even sound too bad. That is actually, that audio that you're hearing right there is the audio that the GoPro 9 caught with the onboard, the extended microphone. It sounds cool, but I mean, you can still hear the fader clicks. That's why I don't like the room recordings. And there's a little bit too much reverb in there. And I still want to have the option to see if I need to change something about the balance between the beat and scratches. That's why I make sure I record my audio separately. But yeah, this is a great way to already like hear what it does. Now, one of the cool things about this turntable, you can't really tell because my hand is there. Let me show you. You got faders on both sides. So for me, with the portable turntable, because I have the PTO1 scratch, the one thing is, if I want to scratch with one hand on the fader, I have to like hold the turntable like twisted in an angle so I can use it. But if I want to use my other hand on the fader, I have to turn that turntable again. With this one, you have faders on both sides, which allows me to do stuff with the right hand on the fader or the left hand on the fader. And all I have to do is press one little button that says fader, and then basically it sends the power of the fader to one channel. So in this case, the fader I'm holding, this is now the fader, and it has a little light on it. If I twist, if I switch, then the light on this fader will go on. But right now, this is the cross fader, and the other fader then serves as a channel fader. So if I bring that down, it lowers the volume or brings it back up. And if I switch, then this becomes the cross fader, and then this becomes like a channel fader. So yeah, pretty cool. Teal Walk says, have you ever thought about pulling some of your old mixes on cassette tapes and redoing them? Yeah, the funny thing is, I actually thought about that, like, I think like 10 years ago or something. Like, hey, let me just look at one of these old mixes and just take that exact playlist, track list, and do that again, but like a new version of the mix. So not even paying attention to how I did the transitions and everything like that. Just take the exact same playlist and make a now version. Maybe I'll do some things the same, some things different. So I actually might still do that at a certain point. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll wait with that a couple of years until it's like a specific year. So that first mixtape was, I think, 96 or 97 or something. So maybe I'll wait till 2027 and do it then, like 30 years later, something like that. We'll see. But yeah, it's crossed my mind. So okay, I need to get the other file. So I have to go to this PC again. And this is the audio file. So I have to get that off real. Let's see, stereo. Is that the one? No, it's not stereo. It's the multi. There we go. So I'm quickly just getting my audio from the Zoom recorder. So let me also add that to the camera offload. Even though it's not a camera file, I like to keep everything in the same spot. So wait a minute, did I leave my recorder on? No, I think there's two files. Ooh, I gotta check real quick, because I also did a little hosting file where I did my intro and outro. Let me check. What's this?
Now that we're on 3
What's this?
with the hard drives, so at 4 we're gonna
What the hell
get
is
a
this?
lot more.
What is that? That is not what I'm looking for. Or did I do it all in one file? Let me quickly check.
Lab mic. Oops.
Okay, so this is totally not the file I'm looking for. That is something totally different. So where do I need to be?
Lot.
That's all me talking. That's not what I'm looking for right now. Or is it the other way around? Let me quickly check.
Saturday.
Okay.
F12, what's going on? It's your boy DJ TLM. Welcome to DJ TLM TV, and welcome to a new edition of the Saturday Sessions. Now, I had to skip a week.
Yes, that is definitely one of the files I needed. Okay, got you. So I need you to go into the offload folder. Where are you? Camera offload. Let me get that one in there. So that's one, and then I need the scratch file. So that's probably going to be this one. Let me hear it. All right, got you. So gotta add these to the offload folder so I can import them later. Yes, I think that's it. I do see one more with that date. I don't know why. Let me quickly check what that is to make sure I have everything. That, oh no, that's probably the file from last week. Okay, so that's not what we're looking for. Got you. Never saw this turntable before. Next to the turntable is just an iPad. Just an iPad. It's my iPad Pro to be specific. And that's where the beat that you're hearing came from, the iPad. All right, so now we got to get to the two GoPros, get that GoPro footage. So let's see, which way do you go? Make sure I put this in the right way. Otherwise I destroy my micro SD cards. Don't want to do that. All right, so in this case, it is opening that import folder for the GoPro. Now, the reason why I don't want to use that, so if anyone familiar with the GoPro, they have their own software to export files from the GoPro, and that works great. The only problem is it's gonna download everything from the GoPro, And I think it's going to take a lot of files from the GoPro that I don't need right now. I only need the file that I recorded today. So I don't want this to send me like a bunch of files, which is exactly what it will do if I just let it import from the app. So why is there so much here? Is that the same name? Make sure I'm getting the right files though. Don't need that, but I'll make sure to take that. And this one, yes. Oh wait, let me just switch the dates here so everything is in the same place, because right now it's, so I need you, and I think that's it. Okay, that should be it. And then we got to get those to the camera offload as well. So yeah, all of these little things, I mean, this is not hard to do, but these are all things you have to do in order to start your, an edit. You have to make sure you get all the files in here. Hey, DJ Expense, what's going on? Salute, salute. Rexa wants to know, it's not a Q&A stream, but is it okay to ask something? That's all people do. And it's perfectly fine. Like, this live stream is just about me showing you what I'm working on, trying to get work done, and I have to be honest, I work a lot slower when I'm doing this live stream, but I like to give people some insight. And I know this is not like a popular stream compared to like mixes or even the normal Q&A, but I know for some people it is interesting to be able to see some of the other work that we do as content creators. But yes, you can most definitely ask questions. Like, the only time when questions aren't really appropriate is during mixes, and people do it sometimes, and sometimes I even answer, but a lot of times during a mix you just want to focus on the music, do quick shout outs, interact that way, but I can't be answering like long questions while I'm doing mixes. But now, bring it on. All good. In the meantime, let me just quickly see if the food arrived. So just double checking to make sure the fam is fed. Christopher, what's going on? Good to see you back. Any recommendations on those scratch devices? Know about the Newmark. Doubting though, because it seems like if you buy it, you also have to buy a lot of parts. Okay, so we're talking about the portable turntables. Yes, I have that Newmark, and I bought that with the intention to modify it. Because yes, indeed, when you get that turntable, the PTO on Scratch by Newmark, I like it. I love the style of it. You name it, but the spinning platter is like super plasticky. The tone arm is a little bit light. It really needs work. Like, you don't get a crossfader, but you get like a cross knot. Really? So I just sent an app through WhatsApp to make sure to check if the food is already there. And now we got the missus answering in the chat. Okay. Anyways, back to that PTO on Scratch. So it doesn't have a crossfader. It has like a little click fader, which allows you to do some sort of scratching. But if you want to get that to a level where you can say, okay, now it's more of a performance portable turntable, you'll have to change the fader. You are better off changing the platter. Most likely getting a different tone arm with a different head shell that allows you to put on different needles. So it needs more work. Now, if you compare that, to what the Omni does, so this right here, so first off, like I said, what I really like, the fact that you have faders on both sides, and just with that little button right there, fader, either this becomes the crossfader or this becomes the crossfader. And next to it, you have another button that says reverse, so you can reverse them, get them in hamster style, and they're pretty good. Now, I would suggest if you're really going to get into scratching, most likely you will want to change the faders, But if you're just starting out, these do definitely work. This has a totally different type of, I don't know if you can hear that. Like that's aluminum, metal. At least it is a much better platter. If you do this with the PTO1 Scratch, if you press on it, you press it all the way in. This is much more solid, so you don't necessarily need to upgrade that straight away. Same thing with the tone arm. This is like a straight metal tone arm with a head shell, and as far as I can tell, you can just put different needles on here already. So you start out in a better position with this one compared to the PTO1 Scratch. And as far as like the rest, like connections and stuff, I think there's also more going on. They have like, and I'll do a full video. This is not like the best way to show it, but they have like a line output to go to speakers and a phono connection right there. You have an auxiliary input and headphone input. It's powered with USB-C. And it also has a second USB-C connection. And if you use that one and you connect it to a computer, then it gets powered, but then it can also be used as DVS. So you could use this to control Serato. So this packs a lot of features. With the other one, with the PTO1 Scratch, you have to I think you have to build in like a power bank. Otherwise it works with batteries, or like just you have to plug it into a wall socket. With the USB-C, I can plug it into anything. I've had this one powered by the computer, powered by the wall. When I shot the Saturday sessions now, I had like just a power bank under the table with a USB-C. So I can just grab this, connect it to the USB-C, and now it has power. Now it can already go. Now it's already working. This one has a start-stop. The PTO1 Scratch just starts when you lift the needle and bring it back. This one has a start and stop. That's also something you don't have to add. It's already there. Now I actually have the speaker volume is off, so I would have to turn that on.
When you break it down.
It's not like it's super loud, but it works.
When you break it down.
It's still pretty loud.
When you break it down.
So I mean, out of the box, this does more than the PTO1 Scratch. Out of the box. Modification wise, I don't know if there's already a lot of stuff available for this one, but the starting point is different, because I noticed that with the PTO1 Scratch, when I sat down, I was like, okay, yeah, I got the little knob, and it's definitely not steady. I had to be really careful. It works. It's still a lot of fun. But I went to one of these meetings where all the portable DJs, the portablism guys, came out with their modified turntables, and then they become a lot doper. Oh, this, by the way, salute to Richie Roughtone with the Practice Your Cuts vinyl. And this one is actually a special edition. On one side, you have like sound, scratch sounds, and the other side is actually control signal for Serato. That's pretty dope. Now, I have not used the reloop spin, so I cannot make that comparison. So I need to check if I can get my hands on that. Andre is asking, do you still do DJ trainings? I mean, I've never done DJ trainings. I have tutorials on the YouTube channel, and I haven't released my first course yet. So I don't have trainings out yet, but that is coming. Rexa, sorry, I missed you. I'm on the verge to buy a new pair of media players, SC5000, SC6000M or CDJ3000. Every time when I'm close to click the buy, I ask myself, why are the SC6000 so much cheaper than the CDJ3000? Is it just quality or the name? So wait, but are you getting the 6000M or the 6000? Because that's like, if you're in the market for a motorized platter, then the 3000 isn't even in the same, that's a different game altogether. But yes, Denons are cheaper than Pioneer. Is that has something to do with the quality, like build quality, stuff like that? Not really. I mean, it is, part of it is, of course, the name. Pioneer is the main name. I mean, material-wise, I don't know if you could say that like an SE5000 or this is the M version. I mean, this thing is built like pretty much built like a tank as well. I mean, there's some plastic in there, but this is like a sturdy piece of equipment, and everything feels well built on it. I must say, for me personally, feel wise, if I look at the jog wheels, and we're taking not the M version but the normal version, the jog wheels on the 5000, I have not felt the ones on the 6000, so I can't really say, but the ones on the 5000 are okay to me. Didn't like them as much as the ones on CDJ 2000s, and the jog wheels on the 3000s are like miles ahead compared to the ones on the 2000s. So if I had to do a personal jog wheel comparison, I'm pretty sure I would always prefer the Pioneers, but I can't do a proper comparison between the 3000 and the 6000 because I haven't tried the 6000 yet. So yeah, and Christopher is mainly after the motorized platter for the feel. So yeah, if you're going for Ben Watson, let me know what you felt was the best, because that's not really a discussion. That's going to be a preference thing. But Christopher, like motorized platters, you have a couple of different options. You have what you can get with the 5000M or 6000M. Then you're buying individual players. I think the Rain 1 is probably a better option if you're used to having like one controller. With that Rain 1, you still have one controller. The size is not too big, and you have motorized platters. So that could be a great option. Or you have to look for an NS7 Mark III, but then you're buying like a big beast. That's going to take up a lot of space. So yeah, you have a couple of options. Silence, what up? So I have those imported. So I got the GoPro file, so I should be able to import those now. In terms of quality, I was told it wasn't as good as the previous. Wait, so Ben, just to be clear, let me know which ones were not as good as which ones. So which one are you talking about now? Let me know that. Because I can tell you, like, feeling-wise, the jog wheels on the CDJ 3000 feel a lot better than the ones in the 2000. You get less of that, like, mechanical roll feeling that you had. They're buttery smooth, like, crazy. Import. So I need those GoPro files. Gotta make sure I get the right ones. Sorry guys, I have to just make sure I'm uploading the right files to Premiere. Yeah, I have those. Where are the GoPro files? GoPro. Okay, there we go. March. Need to make sure I'm not importing the wrong footage. So that's one GoPro, and then we got one GoPro to go. And like I said, I also recorded with my M50. I don't know if I'm actually going to use that in the sessions video. I might use that for different footage, but I still need to get it. I'm so glad I made the move at a certain point to, no, get out of here. Everything now has the, wow, now I forgot the name. The plates on that, so I can just switch them into different tripods and clamps that I have here. And all cameras now have that plate at the bottom, so I don't have to screw and unscrew everything. Almost everything. The only one that doesn't have it right there, but the rest have them, so I can easily replace cameras and move the positions. Only thing is, with this M50, if I want to get to my SD card, I do have to screw it off. That's why cameras should not have their SD card at the bottom. Canon. Like with that GH4, it's on the side, so it doesn't matter how I have it mounted, I can always get to my SD cards. For Pioneer, you're paying that established industry standard tax. Yeah, they have that price. It is true. Okay, so Christopher says I need to be able to play vinyl though, so I'm looking after digital vinyl. Okay, so then you're going for DVS. Simple as that. The Denons are solid, but if you come from the Pioneer ecosystem, I say do with the CDJ. Yeah, I mean it is a little bit different, of course. So like if you want to play vinyl as well, then you just need to buy a turntable set and get like either a mixer that is prepared for DVS or get a separate audio interface for DVS, and then you can do control vinyl and digital or use your vinyl. That's my preferred setup. Like I prefer to play with Serato and Phase on turntables, and then I can also just use the turntables to put my vinyl on there. But I like to play with like a lot of different stuff, 100%. And then we got the Funk House. The Funk House has entered the building. All right, let me quickly see. Why do I have so much GoPro footage compared to my GH4 footage? Okay, so we have you here. I'll have to find out later which one I'm going to use. Funk House laughing his ass off. All right, next up, I need to get my other GoPro because I'm actually curious how that angle looks. The way things are looking now, I'm not even going to get to editing this video today, like just setting it up. And it's going to be a late Saturday sessions, but it is what it is, because I got to get home to the fam too. DJ Extreme, what's going on? So I need to just add this. So for those who jumped in later, what I'm doing on screen when you're not seeing what I'm doing is I'm importing footage from 4 different cameras and an audio recorder to add to the Saturday sessions that I'm about to edit. Okay, so this GoPro is giving me all sorts of footage, nothing from March. So I'm guessing this GoPro has footage in there with just the wrong date. Damn, that's some grainy footage.
There we go.
Okay, but this is the right footage. Let me import that real quick too. So does not look that great, the footage from this Hero 5 from that angle, but it might be fun to use it. Maybe I'll add some extra effects over it. Let me just get it into the offload folder. And then we can start to add the M50 footage, and then we have everything. So when you're in Adobe Premiere, the first screen I go to is the assembly screen. That's where all the footage you import is shown, and then I can just get all the footage in there and then take it from there. So the only thing that I don't want to say worried about, but I'm seeing that I have twice the amount of footage. Oh no, I remember at a certain point when I was almost done, the SD card in the GH4 was full, but I actually was already at the end of the session. So no, that's fine, that's okay. So I have this footage. This is from the GoPro taking the front angle, and I think there's actually more room in here, because what I do normally is I'll start with that GH4 footage. That's this footage right here. Now this is shot in 4K, and then I'm gonna bring my entire project down to just a 1080 file. So I'm gonna bring this down to a 1920 by 1080. Now that means that all of a sudden we get this close, but that's okay. I can just zoom out in a second. And same thing with the GoPro. I need to zoom out, but that gives me a little bit more room to play, and I'm not uploading 4K anyway, so I don't need that. I know I'm going to receive a lot of blowback on what I'm about to say. However, from my experience, it's been more so the platform used more so than the controller used. Oh, okay, let me read that again. From my experience, it's been more so the platform than the controller. Okay, but in what way do you mean? Just George Mike, just let me know in what way do you mean that? I think I'm kind of catching it, but I'm not sure. But if you're talking about like CDJs and the Denon players, you are dealing with a different platform, of course, with Rekordbox compared to Engine Prime. But I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Andre wants to know: is the Saturday sessions a good starting point? If you want to get into scratching, you've never scratched before, I would say start with my scratch tutorial series. They start with like the very basics, starting with that baby scratch. And you can use the Saturday sessions just as a practice tool. Look, the Saturday sessions are made to offer you just an alternative to practicing by yourself. I say that in the intro of the newer sessions. In the past, I didn't always say that, didn't always express that. But when you're learning how to scratch, you just got to put a lot of hours in. You got to practice. You got to scratch. Play beats, scratch over beats, you name it. That can get boring at a certain point. So a Saturday session allows you to have sort of that interaction feel. You hear the beat playing, then you hear me do like some scratches. In the old sessions, I didn't really do patterns. I would just go all over the place. With the newer sessions, I try to just do one pattern that I repeat, 4 bars long. Then I stop. And if you're just starting out, you shouldn't even try to do what I do, but you just take your 4 bars and then you do 4 bars of baby scratches. Then I come in, I do 4 bars again of a different pattern, and so on and so on. Now, once you get a little bit more, once you master the basics, then you try to do what I do in my part, and you try to learn those patterns. Then you go on and you do your own pattern. So it's just another way to practice scratches. Meaning Serato over Engine or Rekordbox over Tractors, etc. Yeah, I mean, it is important that you say that. It is important to mention because sometimes people will ask me like, yo, should I go for instance, a CDJ 3000 or SC 5000? Now, in this case, that wasn't really the question. It was just someone thinking about both, not being sure. It is good to also realize that if you go for a CDJ, you're going to be working with Rekordbox. That's going to be the software you use to organize your folders, set your cue points, you name it. If you're going to go with the Denons, then you're going to be using Engine Prime. Now, of course, there are conversion tools. If you've already used one, you can actually just convert your playlist and cue points and all that. But then again, with all of the new music you're going to import, you're going to have to make sure you manage that with that software. So I think it's even more important with DJ software when you're like using DVS. Like if you're gonna go for Tractor or Serato or Rekordbox DJ, that's like a choice as well. So for me, that would be something that I will take into consideration. So I get you. And controllers, yeah, a lot of controllers will feel the same. The one thing for me that's important for me, but for a lot of people, it isn't really important. But the jog wheels are a big difference. So for instance, when the DDJ 1000 came out, that to me was like, okay, if I'm gonna go for a controller with not with motorized platters, this is the one, because those jog wheels were like the same as the ones on the CDJ 2000. They felt great. So that was my preference. Even though if you just compare controllers, a lot of controllers will have the same features. So I get you. Like a controller is what it is. It's a piece of plastic with metal, with faders and knobs. It'll give you the DJ features to control the DJ software. Some will have more features, some will have less, but they basically do the same thing. The jog wheels, that makes a difference. Crossfader as well. Platters on the SC5000 I tried, they were very smooth and a lot heavier. Yeah, but the way they were smooth, I don't know, the feeling was just not there for me compared to like the CDJ 2000 and especially the 3000. So, but that's an opinion as well. Like some people might actually prefer the feeling on that Denon. That's why I would never tell someone like, yo, this one has the better feeling, because then you go out and buy them and you feel them and you're like, yo, what are you talking about? I don't like this feeling at all. So you should always, especially when we're talking about pricey equipment, and even though the Denons are cheaper than the Pioneers, it's still a lot of money. You need to go out and feel if it's really something you like. So I haven't tried the motorized 6000. I have the 5000 here, and that basically felt like an NS7 to me. So I really like that. All right. Did I just import something that I haven't added yet? No. Already got that. Let me see. See, now I'm talking, I'm losing. I'm losing focus. Did I just import that to the folder? Yes, but I didn't import it into Premiere yet. That's it. Import. So now we have more GoPro footage, and that's should be this right here. Let me see if I'm correct with that, or if I'm not importing the wrong footage. I hope not. Let me see. Let me see. Damn! Wrong footage. So let me get that out straight away. Same with this one. Why is it so short? Why is it so short? That is not the right footage. So let's get those out of here right now. Import. I have to check again. What was I looking at though? Okay, I have to take a quick peek at that GoPro again because I'm not looking at the right footage right now. USB drive, GoPro. That's the right files, right? The A2 file too. Yeah. Didn't I just add you to that folder? I'm pretty sure I just added this to the offload folder. Let me just do that again. Yeah, see, it's already there. Okay, then I'm just not looking correctly with my eyes right. That should be it. 21, yeah. 11 minutes, and where's the other one? You. And you. And more. This can't be. Okay, so I think something is going wrong here with the date in that GoPro, but I gotta check real quick. Okay, Andre, that's dope. I'm glad you found it. So what is this? Show me, show me, show me. Nope, that's not it. And you? Oh, that's the one I already had. My bad. This one. That's gonna be the same day. So that's not what we're looking for. I need to make sure I check my GoPros again and get that get those file names and the date right, because I see that it's making it hard for me to see which one is which is pretty stupid. Oh wait, I can see the file size, the resolution. Hold up. Yeah, this is probably the one. There we go. Okay, got you. And probably this one then. Small file. Right. Let me just quickly check, because then there's a couple of files in here now that don't need to be here either. That's the one that's that one. I'll figure that out later. It's okay. So right here we have the angle I was talking about. Like, I had that GoPro connected to the table. I'm gonna switch to my editing view right now. And I can actually now, oh no, I'm not this one. This is actually a 1080 file, so that needs to stay this way. My bad. Go back. See how that looks. That is loud. Let me turn that volume down real quick. I want both of you down one level there. Audio. Audio. That's you. Thank you. Don't need to see that. Yeah, I might throw this angle in somewhere. I'm not sure if that's going to be a cool angle, but I'll have it in here so I can see. I guess I feel the way I do because I never learned how to cut and scratch. I'm more of a mixologist and mainly blending of music, so this explains why all controllers are all the same to me. Yeah, I understand, of course. Like like for a lot of people, when you're mixing, like the jog wheel is not like going to be the deal breaker. Same thing with the crossfader. So I totally understand. Totally understand. Look at you. You started in '79 on direct drive turntables. I didn't start on direct drive. I started on like crappy old belt drive. Then I went to direct drive, and direct drive felt like heaven after the belt drive turntable. So okay, so in this case, this is a 4K file. I just changed my entire sequence to 1080p. So that means that gives me a lot of room to mess with the scale. Oh, my bad, I'm in the wrong file. To mess with the scale. See, this is the total file in 4K. If I'm like zoomed in like normal, 100%, you only see that. But this allows me to play because I don't actually want to have all of that in the frame. I want this to be nice and big. Plus, I already knew that it was in there a little bit crooked. It's not in. It's not all the way straight. So I still have room to do my rotation without seeing black bars on the side. So just gonna get this straighter. Something, let's see, this is 4%, 2%. Yeah, that looks okay. That's enough. 2%, get it up a little bit. Someone is to be totally in the middle. Something like this. Yeah. Okay, now we're hearing audio from different files. Let me just turn all that off. Yeah, that's straight enough. It's nice and in the middle because I want to make sure people have a close-up of... I'm probably actually not going to do this. I'm probably going to take it up more so you get a little bit more of my hands in there. We don't need that much of the top. Oh, but look, this is what you get. See what I mean? Because I had to rotate, you get a little bit of the black bar. So I got to stay right there. All right. This is what I was worried about at first, that that you wouldn't be able to really see what I do because your hands are kind of close together, because one hand is on that platter, the fader is right there. They're pretty close, but I can see like the movement is still pretty clear. People will be able to see what you're doing. The other side I think is a little clearer when I'm on the other side. Yeah, because then you can tell if you're on the other side, the scratch hand and fader hand are a little bit more apart. So you actually see the movement a little more clear. Yeah, man, the belt drives, man. When you did the scratch or just when you were holding it, if you didn't give it enough push when you let it go, it needed time to start up. But I mean, that was great to learn on those because it gave me more of an appreciation when I moved on to the actual direct drive. All right, so I got my files here. Now the cool thing is, I record my my cameras do record audio when I'm shooting the video. So that one has audio in it. Let me just move this up a bit and move the entire thing a little bit away from the beginning. Or too much push and then you're way ahead. Yes, indeed. So that's the audio from that one. Then we have the audio from you. And then I have audio from this angle as well. That's you. And as you can see, this is the same thing. This is also shot. This was shot on the GoPro, so this is 4 or 5K. So again, it allows me to see how much I actually want in the frame. I can move in and still keep my quality, but I think I'm gonna leave this entire frame here, so I'll put that at 50. I think I'm gonna, no, let me go in a little bit more. See, this was shot at 5K, so I can actually go to like 40% to get everything in the frame. Yeah, I think I might do the entire frame. But I'll look at that later. I might close in a little bit too. We'll see. I'm gonna do one more, and that is the footage from the M50. Even though I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it in the session, I want it there so I can actually take a look at it, and maybe I do want to use it in the session. So yeah, I mean, I remember especially when I started to like record mixes, or when you were practicing your transition and you're getting to that transition point, and you've done the beat matching, so you know that they'll sync up. But then when you let it go and you give it a little bit too much push, it's too far ahead, you get the clashing snares, and now you're fighting your way to get it back. But if you hold it back, you nudge it too much, then it slows down too much, but you can't really speed it up the same way as you can with like 1200s. So that's, I mean, I appreciate learning that way, because once I got 1200s, and now when you get that push to the side, it does speed up a bit, but it doesn't do that crazy thing that the belt drive does. Like sometimes you give it that push and it goes so far ahead that we're not even talking about the snares are just missing. Like one snare is now 2 snares ahead. It's like, yeah. I remember those days, man. I remember those days. But a lot of fun, man. I love the journey. I appreciate the journey. I love thinking about all of those days practicing. I really, really, yeah, I have a lot of appreciation for that. That entire time was a lot of fun to me. The instant panic in your head, yeah, man. Especially if it's a gig. Woo! And I mean, I took those turntables to gigs, like house parties. That would happen sometimes. Like in the clubs, they had the SL 1200, so that was different. But yeah, man. I think I need this file from that M50. That should be the one. M50 just records it in one big file. I need to change that with, I think I can change that within the GoPro. I gotta check, because with GoPros and also with my GH4, it divides your recording into a bunch of separate files, smaller files, which used to be good. Like a lot of computers did not like that if the file size was too big. Nowadays, I don't think that's too much of an issue. So with that M50, when I record, even if the file is a lot longer, it will just take it and you have one file, so you don't lose track of files easy as with like GoPros. Hey Watson, what's going on? Notice you use other turntables like Reloop, Denon. How do you honestly feel they compare to Technics 1200s? For real vinyl, I'm just not feeling handpin turntables. Handpin. I don't know that term, but Cheetah Pete, salute. Yeah, I've used a lot of different turntables. So I think my first non-Technics turntables were Vestax turntables. So I got my hands on a pair of Vestax PDX 2000, and I actually toured with those for a couple of years. Those became like my standard turntables on the road. Absolutely loved them. They were like super steady. I got the ones with the straight arm, and I could do basically anything with them in the shows. I used to like lift the turntable like up sideways so people would actually like see the vinyl, and the straight arm would stay on and I could still cut. The motor does feel different, and that's the thing with most turntables. The feel of the torque and everything is a little bit different. But if I have to compare, like I have the Denon VL12s here, I have the RP 8000 Mark IIs here, I have PDX 3000 by Vestax here, I have SL 1200s. I don't know, I mean, over the years, the most time has been spent on 1200s, of course, because I had those the longest, and I still have one pair that I've owned now for probably 27 years now. I've tried out different turntables. So for instance, the PLX 1000 by Pioneer, I've tried those. I have to say, a lot of those turntables do really feel a lot like Technics 1200s. Like, if I was on 1200s and I go to PDX 2000s, it'll take me a second to get used to the feeling. Then I can go. For the live streams, you see me going on VL12s, you see me going on RP 8000s, you see me going on the PDX 3000. It takes me like a couple of seconds, minutes, and then I'm all the way in there. To me, it's like getting into a car that's not your car. It might take you a second to get used to the clutch, to get used to how it brakes. Or this car, if you hit the brake, it like stops immediately, so I have to be a little bit more gentle. Other cars, you need to push that brake, otherwise it takes you too long to slow down. You have a little bit of that with turntables because every turntable is a little bit different. But I definitely do not think like, oh, the Technics feel better than, for instance, those VL12s or RP 8000s. And even if there was like a slight, like a minuscule difference in feeling, that the Technics would have like somehow quote unquote better feeling, I still prefer these newer turntables that all have like the detachable RCA cables, because I've had that happen with all my Technics turntables at a certain point because I was moving them around. Like, you get any type of issue with a cable, the whole thing has to go away to get fixed, because you can't just unplug the RCA. Same thing with the power cord, same thing with the ground wire. So with my Technics, I actually fix them so that the ground is done internal, so I don't have a ground wire anymore. But still, like having all these other turntables that just have a detachable power cord, detachable RCAs, everything, that is a big plus for me. Now, I can't really compare turntables when it comes to their steadiness that much yet, because I only recently started to do all vinyl shows again. Because when you're using DVS and you're in relative mode in Serato or Tractor or Pioneer record box, you're not really experiencing the turntable for all its little faults that it might have. So maybe one turntable is actually more steady, but you're not noticing that when you're using Serato. But I'm doing the all vinyl sessions, and I think I've done that now with the VL12s and maybe with the RP 8000, but I'll be doing that with all different turntables as well. And maybe I'll start to notice then that some might feel a little bit better than others. But overall, yeah, a lot of those turntables are just really good. Long-winded answer, but that's it. Like, I love them all. And I've tried turntables that weren't up to par. Like, in the past, I've tried a set of re-loops. I was at a gig somewhere and they had re-loops there, and they wanted to know if I wanted to try those. Those were new at the time. This was like 10 years ago or whatever. And I was like, cool, let me try them. And after 5 minutes, I was like, yo, this is not going to cut it. We need to move the Technics in right now. So that can happen too. Not the new re-loops though, like the new 7000 Mark II, the 8000 Mark II. Super dope. Okay, so I need to go to my assembly one more time and import one more file. That is the file from the M50. So camera offload. Let me check the names. That should be one of those MV files. That's the one. So this is a little bit different because, like I said, I shot this in portrait because I'm probably going to use it for stories. Maybe I'll use it in the video as well. So the first thing I have to do in edit is actually go in here, go to rotate, and give that a -90. There we go. Change the degrees on that. I think this was already set to 1080. No, it wasn't. It was also set to I think 4K, which is good, which gives me a little room. Oh, what did I do? What did I just do? I just went to the beginning. Oh, okay, so I would probably zoom that in a bit, get a little bit closer, something like that. Take it up a bit, and then we actually have quite a lot of room. Okay, so now I have all of these different camera angles. Now the cool thing is, like, all of these have been recorded with audio. And in the past, I used to have to now go in here and I would have to line all of these audio files up and make sure they're playing from the exact same point. And that can take some time. I would have to make sure I make all of these a little bit larger so I can see more, pick a clear point where a new phrase or a certain scratch pattern begins, and then find that same part on all of these videos. The cool thing is I actually don't have to do that anymore, because I can use a synchronization feature in Premiere. So yes, boys and girls, I'm about to use sync. I'm about to use sync in Adobe Premiere, because that will make my life a little bit easier compared to having to match up 4 different video files. So I'm just moving these out the way. So now I have one file from each channel, and then I can go in here. You're probably not seeing that. Are you seeing that pop up? I'm not sure. So I'm going into synchronize, and I'm going to choose track number 1. So I want all the tracks to synchronize the audio with track number 1. And now I'm going to let that do its thing. So you're not seeing the pop-up I'm seeing. So I'll bang. Now, as you can see, all of the files just moved in all sorts of directions. And if I go back to Premiere now, and if I listen, let's see, all the audio is on. Yeah, that's going to be really loud. I don't know how loud that is for you, but it's going to be really loud. But this now should all be playing right about at the same point. So now I can go and let me just use one audio source. Let me turn all the other ones off for a second. So now let me use this one. I should be able to go. They should all look the same and play at the right spot. Let me see. Is this the right spot? Right. Good. So, very important. Save. Yes. This is one of those points where I want to hit save just to be sure. Because basically I have all my files lined up now in sync. What I want to do now is make sure that for the cameras that have multiple files, that I now place the other files back in line. Now I'm not done yet. I need to go to the assembly and I need to import my my audio file. So I'm going to take a quick check to see if that file I made is actually long enough. So I need to go to my PC, to my project files, machine, exports, and I need the 2001. Yeah, that's not going to be long enough. That's way too short. So I need to see if that's, I got to open that in Audition real quick, because I can already see it's only 4 minutes. Now, the final video might not be 20 minutes long, but currently I have like 20 minutes of recording, I think. That's because I do a bunch of scratching, and some is good, some is not, some needs to be taken out. Let me see if this is correct. Okay, so I still need to do that same thing. Let me show you the different screen, because I'm not in there anymore. I'm back in Audition now. Let me see real quick. So I have no idea if y'all still with me. What is happening on Twitch? Yeah, Twitch is still live. Okay, got you. Okay, that is still working. Just wanted to check real quick. All right, so I have this file right here. I'm not going to take the end part because that's, oh, my bad. because that still ends with that bass right there. Let me see. Yeah, that bass still continues. So let me see. One, two, three. Go back a little bit. Got you. I'm going to take the last 4-bar part because that actually just starts with a kick again. I want a clean cut right there. Right there. Because I don't want to do the edit from that last extended bass. So now it just ends at a correct point. I'm going to copy the whole thing. Again, I'm going to go all the way to the end. I'm going to hit paste. And yep, you can't hear it. So I'm going to do that one more time. Hit Control A to select all, and copy it. Now, if I do this one more time, I get to, it's already more than 16 minutes, so this is enough. I don't need 32 minutes of this. So you just save that real quick, and then we can go back to Premiere. Yeah, Jersey Mike, you're gonna see that final product. That's gonna be here tomorrow. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna happen today because I'm just gonna set the entire project up and do the edit when I get to the studio in the morning. I think that is the more sensible thing to do because I gotta get home in time. Yeah, I gotta get home in time. That's basically it. So I got an audio file, and then I still need to get my my actual scratch sound. Louis, what's going on? So I need to go back to my PC and library camera offloads, and I need my zoom file. So those zoom files are a little bit different. When did I import these? I think I need the whole bunch because I don't remember which one it is. I know one of these is not the one I need, but I think I'm just going to add all of them. Let me see. They created. Okay, got you. This one and all of you. So, importing a bunch of zoom files as well. So now I have this file right here called the 2021 carousel. Is this the right one? Yeah, that's 16 long. Now I'm not going to need all of it, but I need it now. Hey, the Funk House, thank you. I appreciate that. It is an important thing, and not because I want to show people how much work I have to do, of course, but I think it's important because a lot of people might think about getting into content creation, like becoming maybe just someone who does stuff on YouTube or live streams, you name it. Now, live streams don't take up as much work because you just go live and do it. But even then, if I have my live footage and I want to make clips, I have to go through a similar process, even though it's just one file and I just cut it up and then just work on the audio a little bit. But with like other videos, like Saturday sessions or tutorial videos, you name it, this is what needs to be done before the product can go out. Now, do I make it a little bit harder for myself by choosing to work with 4 angles on this one? Yes. If I want to make it basic, I would just hang an overhead cam, just shoot that, get my hands on screen, do that, and just set up a cam for a second to do an intro and outro. That would make it a lot easier, but I'm not in it for easy. I want to do stuff that's dope. So if I want to have multiple angles, I'm going to do that, but I'm aware of the fact that it will cost me some more work, but it's also just too much fun not to do it. Okay, so what I want to do now is quickly just find the beginning. I just want to hear one track. I'm hearing more than one right now.
Sir. Yo, here we go. Let's get it, baby.
Hyping myself up. So I need to just find a beginning where some drums begin. A bunch of different files here. I think that is the right point. So let me make that one a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. So if I'm not mistaken, that is the start of a new phrase. I'm just going to cut that part off. Don't need it right now. And then I'm going to line my beat that I just added up with that. So that seems like it might be a little bit off. It is one frame. I don't think I can. Now this might not sound perfect now, but that is not going to be something you will notice in the end. I can tell you that much. Okay, that's in here. As you can tell, this already sounds like totally different. I have to turn the volume up a bit too. Because this file I have right here. Oh, okay, I'm on this channel. That's why it's so low, I think. Let me see. That is just the beat, not a beat recorded to a microphone from a camera, but just the actual beat. That is in position. Now I'm not going to delete the audio from all of those cameras yet. I'm going to leave that in for a second because later on I want to make sure to check something if everything is actually in the right place. So I will leave that in for now. But I know that later on I'm going to take all of that out. I just added the beat. That's now lined up with the with all of those scratch files. And then we got to bring in the actual scratch sound. So I need one of my zoom files, one of those stereo zoom files. Only thing is I'm not sure which one it is. I think zoom 1 is my intro outro talk. Let me just listen to that real quick. I think that's just my intro and outro talk.
I think you're getting very low amount of reverb. That's a fact.
What is that? That is not what I'm looking for. No. Then it's either you or the other one. Let me see. Oh, gotta put it to the right channel. So, 2 channels here of scratches. That should be the right one. Need to double check real quickly what the other one is. The other one should then be my intro outro talk.
Straight off iMachine. So
yes, okay, so I'll leave that off for now. We don't need that yet. But I do need these 2. They need to come in the bottom. Yours, Mike, thank you. That is the thing. I always appreciate y'all letting me know that. And that for me is the main reason to do this. And over the years, I mean, it's grown into different things as well, which actually allowed me to live during this pandemic because DJing wasn't the only thing, and I was able to also produce content for companies, for brands, which definitely helps out. But just the interaction, and I mean, coming from a different era, and yours, Mike, I mean, you told me when you started DJing, so we were here before the internet era, and being able to connect just with people from all over the globe, that I'm standing here in Amsterdam, and I'm talking to people from Phoenix and New Jersey to all the way to Sri Lanka and all over the globe. To me, it's still mind-blowing. Not that I don't understand the technology, but the fact that we can actually do this, to me, that is great. Plus, I live in this small country right here, and I don't think how can I phrase that? At a certain point, I did miss a certain type of appreciation for the type of DJ I was, because I was into incorporating my turntablism into my gigs, that is just something that's not big here. I mean, we're a small country. Hip hop has grown, but it wasn't that big. Turntablism wasn't that big. The internet allowed me to find an audience outside of my own country, but it moved from just being a DJ to actually finding that it's so dope to share and at the same time learn, because I started to realize more and more that, hey, even DJs in my own city can have a total different backstory about how they got into DJing and their actual DJ career, you name it. It's totally different for people throughout the world. Plus, just knowing that I can add value, and I've had messages from people, not just telling me like, hey, I learned from your videos, but also people who started after they saw a video of mine, learned a lot from my channel and others, and now are emailing me like, I just did my first gig in a club and stuff like that. I mean, I could not have imagined that it could go like this, thinking back, you know? So I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's it. I love it. All right, so I need to real quick I need more audio for tracks. Yes, here. So this is the only thing that is a little bit tricky, because I recorded those scratches separately. Those scratches are not on a beat. They are basically like what an acapella would be for voices. So I have scratch sounds. So I have to find the first scratch sound. Okay, so this is where I put the actual needle on the record. So I want that absolutely. So I need that first part, where that begins. That's where I'm gonna cut this video for now. So right there. All right, then I can mute that. Then I need to go into one of the files where I'm on the turntable, and I need to go to a very beginning part where I actually put the needle on the record and started to do it. Let's see. Is this one? Let's see.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Let's get it, baby.
That hype-up part. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So that's it. That's what I needed. So I need to go to that very beginning. So right here, I have my finger on the start-stop button, and as soon as I hit it, that's where that sound begins. So that is my starting point. That's where I need to start those layers of scratching. Now maybe I'm going to be a millisecond off. Let me unmute that real quick. So that might still be like a millisecond off, but I'll discover that while I'm doing this. Hey, Alfonso, what's going on, man? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, same way with how I make content, like educational content. I think it's important that when I'm doing my live streams, a lot of people, a lot of DJs will have like a camera just aiming right at them, like just that angle from the front, which is a cool angle because you get to see the DJ in his element behind the decks, same as like I'm here. That's all good. Andre, see you next time. Thank you for joining. Same thing with here. Like of course it's dope. You see a DJ, you see their DJ set, but I also understand now after making tutorials over the years, like for people to truly understand, like if someone's not really into scratching yet or DJing yet or wants to truly understand what a DJ is doing, when you're watching from this angle, you will still have to imagine, okay, this is what he's doing. You have to turn yourself around to figure it out. Okay, I got you. Fonz, I got you. But the thing is, like, so that's cool. But like for people to have a better understanding of what you're doing, this angle is like, okay, hey, now it feels like you have that first person view where you're actually seeing like, okay, so this is how he's standing. This is what he's doing. So I like to do that when I'm live streaming. So that's the first thought process, a thought that goes through my mind. Now afterwards, of course, I start to realize also that the way I'm doing my live streams when I'm mixing, I also separate myself from others because of how I present myself. So now I have all the angles. You see the angle where you see me in the frame with the entire set. You have the overview, the overhead angle where you can see closely what I'm doing. Then I have the camera that I use to talk to the audience that is nice and close so I can get that face-to-face type of feel. And then I share my laptop screen when I'm using DJ software so you can see me scrolling through folders. It gives you also more of an understanding of what's actually happening. So I like to work that way, even though it's more work because I'm DJing at the same time. I'm making sure I'm switching angles, reading comments, replying, you name it. It's more work, but it's great practice to me as well, learning how to do all those things simultaneously.
When you break it down,
So this already sounds like it's pretty much on point. I just want to compare it to the footage I see. See, something here is not right because now I'm hearing scratches and I'm not seeing them. So that is all the way correct. So why did it seem like... Whoa. Okay, that's a mystery to me right now. Because this is right on point. This is all correct. Still on point here. And then we're not. So this is one of the reasons why I said I did not remove the audio from the other video files yet, because I need to see why this is not lining up now. So either something happened within the video file that we have sort of a skip going on, but I need to double check. I'm currently viewing this video file. So we lose it somewhere around here. Wow. Okay, this is new to me. So either something happened in the recording of the scratches, because all of a sudden the scratches are not synced up with what I was doing. I'm gonna make a quick cut to... So I want to just cut this part because this part is actually totally in sync up until this point. So I want to make sure I have that. Hit save. So that's going to be a little troubleshooting I'll be doing in tomorrow because I'm about to head home. Got to get to the fam and to the food. And yeah, Fun Cows, I agree. I mean, not about the fact that you find me, but there's a lot of things that go on online, and in some ways you can always find what you're looking for. So if people are looking for the negative, it's easy to find that too. There's a lot of it out there. But I also found that throughout the years that I've had my YouTube channel, for instance, that I somehow always attracted positivity. That's also because that's what I'm giving out. Because if I look at like my comment section for all of my videos, I have over 500 videos on the channel now. If I look at the comment sections, the overwhelming amount is positive. Every now and then you might get some person in there that comes in from like an awkward or negative angle. Half of the times when I approach those people and confront them like in a normal fashion, just to see if they can explain their point, some will actually understand that they might have been a little bit off, or they just don't react at all. But that's like such a small percentage. Same thing with the likes, dislikes. There's a very clear positive vibe there, and you get the same thing here. So yes, I think the positivity does attract positivity as well. And yes, you just got to put yourself out there as well. Is very true as well. And I never had this. I never imagined I would be doing like educational stuff online either. I started to do things online because I wanted to promote myself as a DJ, and understood that the fact that I did turntablism like or type stuff in my sets, I needed to have like the visuals to support that, because if people just heard it, a lot of times they wouldn't understand it unless you were dealing with like some hip hop heads. They understand like a beat juggle or a scratch, but if it's a different audience, like just a normal club going audience, they didn't know about that. So I wanted to have that with videos, and it just grew from there. That's where I discovered that. That's where I also learned a lot of things. So I absolutely love the internet. I see all the negativity it can bring, but I love the fact that I've learned so much from it, and meet a lot of people through that as well. You know, and that's the great thing. Like I can be in Venice, Italy, like a couple of years ago. Salute DJ Mac, and then you run into some DJs like, yo, and they recognize you from your channel, and it's all positive. And DJ Mac was like in one of the streams, like I think on Wednesday, like, hey, it's DJ Mac from Venice, remember me? So you can reconnect with people as well. Super dope, love that. Search One, salute to you as well. And yeah, guys, I am going to cut it now. Like, I'm going to finish my session tomorrow. That's not on the stream, by the way, in the daytime. And I'll be back tomorrow with crates. So I'm going to, maybe I'll need to do a quick separate video for DJ TLM TV. For the people on YouTube watching now, my mixed streams are going to be available on YouTube on my old channel. So if you want to see me do my live streams, like tomorrow's live stream, crates, on YouTube, you got to subscribe to my DJ TLM channel. DJ TLM TV is for all the educational content and also for streams like this. But my mixed streams I won't do on that channel. I want to make sure that channel is totally safe and clear. But I have my old YouTube channel, DJ TLM. So youtube.com/DJ TLM. Check me there, and you can watch my live stream mixing sessions there. So I'll be on YouTube tomorrow live as well. I'll repeat this tomorrow. I'll start the stream on this channel as well, just to send people there. But y'all need to know that. Oh, Jersey Mike. I mean, you can find me online anywhere for questions. Same thing with like IG. I'm on there. I check DMs there. But I have my email for that, stk@djtlm.com. STK, so share the knowledge. stk@djtlm.com. So you can always shoot a question there, no doubt. So yes, tomorrow I'll be back. Let me quickly fix that for the last like seconds. Normally I'll put my schedule up, but if I do that now, I gotta make sure to take out Certified Bangers, because Certified Bangers won't be back until next week. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. Stream elements. You know what? I can actually show you that as well. So while we're at it, let me just change this, and we're gonna go from Adobe Premiere. We'll go in here, bang. So this is it. I'll make this a little bit smaller now though. Let's see. Might still be too big. Back here. So okay, so this is Stream Elements. This is something I use for my live streams to make the overlays, some of the overlays. So I can go to my dashboard, and I go to my, no, I don't want to sell your merch. I go to my overlays right here, and I need to go to my stream ending overlay. So I make overlays in here. Oh, I already turned it off. Oh, my bad. It's already off. Let me turn it on for a second. I want to show you something, how that works. So let me save that real quick. So you make an overlay, and it basically gives you an URL, and you copy that URL, and then in your OBS you can add an overlay. In this case, a browser source. So I want to be able to make sure you can see it. Let me get that out of the way. So normally I have this. This is one of my overlays from the browser source, the stream ending right here. So I can turn that on in OBS so you can see it. But for instance, now you see Certified Bangers is still there for Friday, but that's not this Friday, that's next Friday. So I need to have that out there. So what I do, real simple, is I get into my stream elements and I just say Friday needs to be turned off. Bang. Now it's gone. All I have to do is hit save. And as you can see, it automatically disappears in OBS as well, because it just adjusts that in real time. So this is my schedule. I'll be back on Monday, and after that I'll be back on Wednesday, and then I'll be back on Sunday. So if you want to see me mix, make sure you hop on tomorrow. That's 8 p.m. CET. So you need to check your local time. If you're in LA, that is 11 in the morning. If you're on the New York side of things, it's like, what is that? 2 in the afternoon, I think. So yes, check your local times, and follow me on Twitch, YouTube to make sure you get that notification. Right. See you next time, guys and gals. Later.